Congress finally took action. Not on homelessness, not on healthcare, but on banning the app where people argue if a hot dog is a sandwich or not. We're talking about TikTok. It's being banned. 150 plus million Americans use TikTok. It's fair to say that it's probably a pretty big deal right now. Free speech is free speech. The U.S. Congress passed a bill that forces TikTok's Chinese parent company, ByteDance, to sell the app within a certain time frame, or TikTok will be banned. The official reason, national security. It's definitely better than not wanting to watch people smack each other in the face or eat hot chip challenges, which are pretty funny when people start to throw up. There's concerns over China accessing our public information, Americans' information, and then public influence. A lot of power behind social media. A lot of power behind social media. TikTok is a big deal for a lot of people. There's a girl who lives about 20 minutes from here. Her whole family, like generational wealth at this point. If this was about privacy, wouldn't Facebook, Google, huge social media companies, wouldn't they be under fire too? Like, why just TikTok? And 150 million Americans use it. Max age would be 35, 40. I watch one of the best videos ever on TikTok. I love the guy who pulls up, he finds homeless people or drug addicts and just gets them food. That's the greatest stuff to me. It's not just where people watch dumb stuff. People get their news, people watch sports, people can start their businesses. Obviously, millions of people have been monetized and make some money off TikTok. Shoot, my son, he did one video that went nuts. He had like 65,000 followers in like a week, and it was some Italian Czech video, and then it had like Italian music behind it. My son's a handsome guy, so he had a lot of females messaging him. Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act. It was passed by the House and the Senate this month, April of 2025. It was signed by Biden. And ByteDance, TikTok's Chinese parent company, has 9 to 12 months to divest or sell TikTok to a U.S. appropriate buyer. But if they don't, TikTok's going to be banned from every app store in the US. Now, how does that affect? Who does that affect? What does that affect? A lot, all over the place. But why is this such a big deal? It goes back to national security. Basically, the claim is that TikTok is used by China to spy on us. That's a pretty crazy claim. Do I put it past any of this social media stuff? No. I haven't opened my Walmart app in 2 months. I went into Walmart today and I just grabbed a fan and some dog food. And when I opened up to grab Walmart Pay, it was the first app, very top left on my phone. What the? The internet has completely changed the way people make their living. It's changed the way people communicate. It's also made millions and millions of Americans depressed, ashamed, anxious, antisocial. If they ban TikTok tomorrow, what happens? Do Instagram and Facebook just pick up more speed? There's other people just trying to continue their online business or whatever they were doing on TikTok. I don't think this is really about protecting Americans. This is about control, the back end, knowing how big TikTok is, knowing it's not an American-based company. They want control of it. If TikTok was owned by another country, would the same accusations be thrown out there? TikTok is the modern public square. Speak your mind and make things happen. It's the today's version where millions and millions of people communicate, laugh, cry, update, news, sports, culture, weather. Banning it would be shutting down a person's form of free speech. Take me, for instance. I'm nothing big. I get a few thousand views on my videos, but if I can't speak about my vets, about new things going on, old things that have happened, things to stay away from, things to maybe look at and help my veterans or help my recovery community, you're taking away my ability to do that. I can talk to my vets and I can talk to my recovery community. What happens if we decide that YouTube is too risky? Is it all going to come crashing down? Is TikTok going to be the first domino? If it's just TikTok, it's hard to fathom that it wouldn't be everybody else. Is there that big of a difference? Anybody in the comments, fill me in on this. Why not other social media platforms? Why isn't Facebook under the gun? Why isn't YouTube under the gun? It doesn't make much sense. So what the heck is different in the terms of service in TikTok than others? Let's actually find out. TikTok's terms of service key points: data collection and usage. TikTok collects a broad range of data, including IP addresses, device identifiers, keystroke patterns, battery status, connected audio devices, that freaks me out, time zone settings, and information about other apps on the device. So why do you need to know about a keystroke pattern? Now I'm starting to see this thing. Data collection is pretty common with all these social media apps, but they don't go as deep and far as TikTok. TikTok's extensive reach into device information has raised concerns. What was the difference? So Facebook isn't looking at my keystroke patterns on my phone. They're not looking at my other audio devices. I don't believe that. How can you take down just one? I deal with veterans on a daily basis who yell at us because they think that we're calling them 5,000 times. Our setup has veterans filling out a form and they book on our calendar, and then we call them one time. They honestly think we gathered their data from somewhere when they filled the data out. A lot of these companies just send 20 different sales reps the information and they sell leads. They're selling information. They're selling first, last name, date of birth, you name it. Obviously, there's no personal information in these things, but phone number, email, first, last, date of birth, like that's a lot of information to put out into the social media universe. Content licensing. By using TikTok, users grant the platform perpetual, irrevocable, non-exclusive, royalty-free, worldwide license to use, reproduce, and distribute their content. This means TikTok can utilize user-generated content for various purposes without having to ask for consent or compensation. Compared to other platforms, there are definitely notable differences. Data sharing. Platforms like Facebook, Instagram also collect extensive user data, but are subject to US regulations and oversight. Why? It's because it's a China-based company that we obviously can't do that, which means they need to sell to us so that we can do that. Makes sense. TikTok's data practices have been scrutinized due to the concerns about potential access by the Chinese government. Content use. Most platforms require users to grant licenses to use their content. However, TikTok's license is particularly broad, allowing for extensive use of content without further approval. Banning TikTok may be a damn good idea if they don't sell in 9 to 12 months. We'll make a video a year from today. 420. You guys are listening to me while you're high as heck right now. Implications of free speech and privacy. So the combination of extensive data collection, broad content licensing, and the dispute resolution clauses in TikTok's TOS has fueled debates about privacy and free speech. Critics argue these provisions, coupled with the platform's ownership structure, pose risks to user data security and freedom of expression. The government finally found something more dangerous than fentanyl: teenagers doing dances in parking lots. This sets a dangerous precedent. If it starts with TikTok, where does it go after that? The one thing I love about social media is that I can reach veterans in 49 states. I can save them money. I can protect their loved ones the right way. We can ensure that our vets, their family members, have the peace of mind financially when they die. The Dude Perfects of the world who have built empires, maybe they're just doing this for political suppression. TikTok is also a space for activists. It's a space for veterans. It's a space for whistleblowers. It's a space for groups that really need to get a message across. But what that would do, if you're silencing whistleblowers, activists, veterans, protesters, if you're silencing all of that, it's all about control. This is not about national security at all. The only time it would be about national security is if we started seeing crazy stuff happening from the information that China gets to gather. If all of our phones instantly unlock and all our bank accounts get emptied, why don't they just make them change the terms of service? Veterans fought for what word? What do our active military fight for? Freedom. Freedom of speech. That doesn't mean China gets to spy on me in my own home. I get it. We just need to be really regulating these platforms, not banning them. You know, people get to talk to folks that they never thought they would again. I actually just had one of my best friends from high school hit me up on Instagram. When I went through all my drug addiction stuff and disappeared for years, I reconnected with a lot of my friends off social media, not on TikTok, but on social media. Why can't we just separate TikTok, go through the regulations, go through the terms of service, handle business, and call it a day? Because things that sound like it would be easy just usually don't work. You know why? Because it's all about money, it's all about control, and it's all about the power. And the US is going to want the power, and I'm okay with that. But don't ban it. That's just stupid. You don't have to love TikTok, but it raises some awareness or some eyebrows about what the heck is going on with the government. If the government bans TikTok and free speech today, what does it look like when Sage is 20? What does it look like tomorrow? Who knows? So if you're a fan of the NyQuil Chicken Challenge, the Devious Lick Challenge, if you like the Skull Breaker Challenge, faking Tourette's, faking mental health, faking addiction, faking homelessness. We watch all of this stuff on TikTok daily. We watch people do the dumbest stuff in the history of life, and we don't do a thing about it. But when it's time to control something, and when it's all about power, now we do something about it. It's not the people first, guys. It's the power. See you guys next week.